Hello traders, good evening. I think in the last 4 weeks consistently, if you just watch on the right hand side of this Nifty weekly chart, there have been 4 negative candles, and now we are near an important support band. Is this going to be the end of the frustration? Is it going to be the end of choppiness retracement? Are we going to rebound from here? Let's find out. And by the way, last week's video I could not publish, I could not share with all of you because I was actually caught up with something, and that is the reason I could not. Anyways, let's see what has happened this week. Once again, this week we have a negative close in Nifty spot. Although the trend is up as the price is trading above the dual moving averages, RSI is probably around 55, so things are fine. The trend is up, but I think the momentum is slipping. As you can see, the RSI is slipping on the downside. In terms of trend in the daily time frame chart, you can see that the trend is down as the displacement of the moving averages is now in such a way that the shorter term moving average is below the longer term one. All right. And the prices are also trending down in the last 2 days. And the important thing over here is that if you just go and have a look in the short term chart, which is the hourly and the 2 hourly time frame chart, I'll just blow out this time frame for you. And if you can see properly exactly from the important levels, Nifty has reverted back on the downside. Now, what are these levels? Let's have a look. The first resistance I believe in the Nifty spot is at 25,250 to 25,270. And if this was taken out, in case if Nifty would rally, then the second resistance was at 25,320 and 25,340. All right. But Nifty ने ऐसा किया नहीं, Nifty नीचे चली गई. And if you have a look with a little bit more depth, there is one thing which is very, very interesting. This is what we have: a lower low in price and we have a higher low in RSI. We had a bounce back, and now once again we have a lower low in price and we have a slightly higher low, not a lot, just slightly. Although this divergence is not very, very strong, if you can just compare it with this crosshair. So we do have a lower low in price, a higher low in RSI. This is a sign that the downside momentum is waning, is weakening in the market, and we are also at a support. You'll be able to check this support much better in the daily time frame chart, and the support band is much bigger, 24,940 to 24,730. This is an absolute huge support band, and this support band is actually stronger than the resistance band. But I think you all know that result season is going on, and many stocks which are seeing result days, I think stocks are, rather than going upsides, stocks are getting thrashed on the downside. Now this same support is also visible in the weekly time frame chart. Same over here. And in this weekly time frame chart, this support is, I think, along with this support band, we have a candlestick cluster. We also have a Fibonacci retracement. So I think, yes, the trend is up in the weekly time frame chart. Momentum is slightly weakened, but still, I would say there is not a lot to worry over here, because in a bull run, it can happen that at times we can have a slightly deeper cut in market. But yes, if we close below this support band, then maybe a couple of days later on, if you see the sell-off continuing, then I can say that it's a matter of a little bit of concern. Maybe the retracement can be a bigger one. Probably rather than ending here, we can go a bit lower. That is what I'm trying to say. Looking at the Bank Nifty chart, I can say that the Bank Nifty is, yes, we do have negative divergence in the RSI, but still if you compare it with the Bank Nifty in terms of momentum, I would say in terms of pure momentum, not just trend, but momentum, I can say that it is slightly better this week rather than Nifty, because in Nifty, if you can see, we have a slightly big real body in comparison to the Bank Nifty's doji candle. Yes, even this candle is negative. I do agree. I also agree that we have a lot of choppiness in this zone, but In terms of momentum, we are slightly better than Nifty, and we are at a important support as well in the Bank Nifty, which is at 55,710 to 56,130. Now, will this hold or not? I think only time can say. But yes, only matter of concern over here is that we do have a negative divergence. But if this divergence would not be there, then I would surely say that although this choppiness is there, this chart is a bit stronger. Okay. Now going ahead, if you have a look at the private banking space, we can say that yes, we have retraced. We have come close to the 23.6% retracement. If we want this chart to go higher from here, then we should be sure that we do not break these lows with a convincing momentum and convincing sell-off. If this is broken, then probably some deeper cut can be visible, but should be a bit careful when you're trading in these private banking back stocks. PSU Banks. PSU Banks, I think more or less, they are a bit more range bound in nature. In last 4 weeks, we can see a complete range bound. And I think if you see, if this low is broken, then the next support will be in the zone of 66.80 or 66.90 probably, because this is an important support zone. This was a range. If this range breakdown happens, then yes, a little bit sell off on the downside is probable. Energy pack, the way it was going up, it was convincing. It consolidated over here, then it gave a breakout with this candle. After the candle breakout, it tried to probably retrace in the last 3 weeks, but this week, the way it has come down, it has surely come down with some good momentum. Now again, if you can see, this is a 23.6% Fibonacci retracement in price, and we do have at the same point of time a recent low in the daily time frame chart. So if this low is broken convincingly with closing basis, then some downside momentum will continue in the energy pack. So just be careful about it. Auto pack, I would say yes, doesn't look that great on the chart, as if I'm saying that it is choppy. But in terms of trend, the trend is up. The momentum is still strong in comparison to other sectors. Yes, there is not much momentum or trendiness available, but still, since the sector is falling lesser, in that way it is outperforming other sectors. Okay. Going ahead in the consumption pack also, I think things are okay, nothing much to worry. Only thing is we should not break this low, 11,580. If we break this one, a short term possibly sell off for the next couple of days, maybe we'll land up in the zone of 11,500 or that sort of range, or maybe a little bit more, maybe 11,433. You can just plot a fib over here and you will understand that this is an important 50% retracement. We break this one, the next one is 61.8%, and the next one is in terms of round figure 11,400, but actually at 11,388, 12 point ka difference, not much. Okay. Finance pack. Okay, finance pack, I should say that we do have a reading on the RSI, which I have been sharing with all of you. I'll just try to share this thing once again. We do have a lower high on the RSI in the weekly time frame chart. Yes. And if you check the price over here, we do have a higher high in price. So yes, it's a negative divergence for sure. But at the same point of time, what has happened is this week, we do have a negative candle, but the candle is still green in color. So we have still safe in that way. But if we break an important support in the daily time frame chart, which is probably this one, this low, and if we close below this going ahead, then things will change in the finance pack. And a little bit short-term momentum will try to, will be visible on the downside. Why I'm telling you? Because right now, if you see carefully, the displacement of the moving averages in the daily time frame chart is still positive. It is also positive in the weekly time frame charts, but things can change if we break this level, which is slight deeper. FMCG pack. Now, FMCG pack, I think we should be very, very careful. Why I'm saying this is the reason is the way it was behaving previously. It was very clear. It's a weaker sector. It was correcting, gave a pullback, corrected again. And after this correction, there was a short span of time in this zone when things started improving. This zone I'm talking about in the daily time frame charts, things were improving. It did feel that probably since other sectors which are aggressive ones are correcting, probably FMCG will come over here as a savior for Nifty, but it did not work out that way. And suddenly the way it rallied, it is falling the same way with the same sort of momentum. I think as a trader, I would like to stay away from this sector as of now to get a bit more clarity that whether it wants to go up or down, because in an environment when a sector is just going up and down, suddenly falls, suddenly rises, suddenly falls again, I think I would not be interested in this sector. We should wait and probably have a bit more clarity before placing a trade in this sector. Infra pack. Infra pack, I think the trend and the momentum both are fine, both are safe in the weekly time frame chart, but I can surely say the way it is falling in the daily time frame chart, things are not right, because you can see the way RSI is coming down, the way momentum is coming down is not good for the daily time frame chart. But we need to understand we do have a support over here which is at 78.6% Fibonacci retracement at 9,000. Let's see that this does not break. If this breaks with a closing basis, then I think things can go a bit more bad for the infra pack. IT looks negative. IT looks negative. The way it is falling, it's really bad. And I think a pullback over here could probably, it could be an opportunity for people who have not been able to take out their stocks over here. They will get better opportunity over here rather than this particular rate, because it doesn't seem probable that even if it pulls back, then there'll be some sort of short-term bottom. Yes, maybe two to 3 days of pullback is a different thing, but more than that, I don't think so there will be anything positive in this sector as of now. Metal pack. Metal pack, I think, is very similar in terms of strength, not exactly similar to the auto pack, but it is one of the sectors. It was one of the sectors which was looking positive. In weekly time frame chart, trend is positive, momentum is fine, but it is sideways. If you look at the RSI, the way it was rising, the way metal stocks were going up, it was really looking amazing. But again, the entire sell-off of the entire market psychology took its hold on the metal sector and it has started correcting. But otherwise, so far, I should say so far, what will happen again is a different thing. But so far, I think it is still a better sector than others. Pharma pack continues to remain strong. I had already highlighted about the pharma pack few weeks back that धीरे धीरे ये थोड़ा सा strength पकड़ रहा है, and you can see that the way it is performing, momentum is improving slowly and steadily, and even the price is going up. Yes, the trends are shorter, I can understand. The trends are not very, very big that if you buy one pullback or one breakout and if it's huge, no. Trends are shorter in nature. The reason is if you just have a look at the constituents of this sector, you will not find all the stocks are performing the same way the index is performing. So I think as a trader, even if you want to participate in the pharma pack, you will have to be very, very choosy. You cannot just pick any Tom, Dick and Harry and ride the trend in that particular sector, right? PSE overall trend is up. Momentum is also fine in the weekly time frame chart, but in the daily time frame chart, the sell-off is a little bit stronger. Although the recent support is coming up, the recent short-term support is within the range of 97.50 to 9718. If we close below this one, then I think things will change for this particular sector in the short term. Realty pack, if you have a look, then a good rally, a retracement, and then we tried to start a new rally. Rather than that happening, unfortunately, weakness has caught up and suddenly we are going down, and we are going down in such a way that we have broken the recent low. So as per Dow theory, if you actually see, we had low over here, high over here, again a low over here, again a high over here, and then the next high is this one. So this is certainly a lower high, and this is also a lower low. So structurally in the daily time frame chart, it's looking slightly weaker. In the weekly time frame chart, it's looking fine. It's not very strong because of this candle, but it's looking still better than the daily. So I think slowly and steadily, if the trend continues on the downside, then things will change even in the weekly. But before coming to a conclusion that yes, real estate sector is going to go down, maybe next few days will be very, very crucial, because at times what happens is, my friend, the sector takes a dip, breaks the support, and immediately it rebounds. So I think that is something which we need to watch. Midcaps. Midcaps, again, we can see we do have a negative divergence in the RSI. We have a lower low, we have a lower high in RSI, we have a higher high in price, and the way it is correcting is not good. Let's hope that this support or 57,000 is not broken. If 57,000 is broken in terms of closing basis, probably it will disturb the entire structure of the trend, because what will happen, we are continuing higher highs, higher lows, and this is the first time we do have a warning that a high is happening at the same level and it is not able to surpass the previous one, which is not a good sign. And this sign is coexisting with the negative divergence. So this is not good for the sector. Be a little bit careful in the mid-cap space. Overall, I would say in terms of Nifty and other sectors, yes, there are few weak sectors, there are few strong sectors. Not a very good time to trade in the markets. As a trader, rather than initiating too many trades, I would stay aside, watch the charts, try to understand what's going to happen in the market. Is it just a retracement and a sudden pullback and the resumption of the previous uptrend, or is it something else? So I think ये एक ऐसा टाइम है जहां पे ट्रेड्स कम कर दीजिए, थोड़ा सा समझने की कोशिश करिए क्या हो क्या रहा है मार्केट में, कि जो पूरा अपट्रेंड जो स्टार्ट हुआ अप्रैल में, इज इट गोइंग टू चेंज, और क्या ये सिर्फ रिट्रेसमेंट है, क्या है एग्जैक्टली. So try to understand that. Once you understand it properly, only after that take position. As of now, if you want to take positions, make sure that you do not initiate too many trades and only go for the high probable trades. All right. Trade less and trade wisely. Thank you.